Hi and welcome to Zoom TV, the show where we explore everything that flies, drives and floats and invite you along for the experience. Well, today, thanks to Asanda, we've come to Fraser Coast, which is country Queensland, to visit a vehicle automotive dealership that had the longest serving Ford franchise.
1898 was when the dealership was first built. It was the longest surviving Ford dealership in Australia. We've now been selling and servicing for 114 years.
Thanks to John Hughes Hyundai, Allan looks over the all-new i30 SR 5-door hatch.
The i30 SR is matched to a 6-speed auto which transports it from 0 to 100 kilometres an hour in 8.6 seconds.
Dan jumps into the all-new Toyota Yaris thanks to City Toyota.
They come in many shapes and sizes, but this is the 4-door hatch variety.
And today's Asanda Celebrity Hitchhiker is an interesting tour guide with a twist. Plus, I'm going to tell you something very special about Maryborough itself. So get comfortable, because it's time for Zoom TV.
Well, we're out and about today doing a little bit of star spotting. Not those celebrity chefs who cook, sing and dance at the same time or any of that nonsense, but a bona fide star of the small car sporty hatch segment. And this star has just been born. And what a talent she is. This superstar from the Hyundai factory is the i30 SR Automatic. The i30 gets a larger engine than its predecessors, an excellent 2-litre petrol GDI motor. It also receives locally developed suspension and front and rear damper improvements. The i30 SR is matched to a 6-speed auto which transports it from 0 to 100 kilometres an hour in 8.6 seconds. And it does so very economically. The combined fuel economy figure is about 7.5 litres per 100 kilometres. Hyundai has pushed the boundaries inside the i30 as well. Sitting in here, it's a very comfortable and secure feeling. And until you look back, you wouldn't know you're in a hatch. The excellent interior brings us safety and quality. It includes a 7-inch sat-nav, 6-speaker stereo with USB and auxiliary inputs, Bluetooth, dual-zone climate control, rear camera and rear parking distance sensors. The SR edition we have today gains leather seats with power on the driver's side, alloy sports pedals and an electrochromatic rear view mirror and optional panoramic sunroof, 17-inch machine-faced alloy wheels, sports front grille, a rear diffuser, xenon headlights and LED rear combination lights. So it looks good, has all the fruit we need these days, but what's it like on the road? Well, that's where Hyundai has focused its attention. They teamed up with a guy called David Potter, who's the suspension and chassis guru. He worked alongside our local engineers. The result? Absolutely spectacular. In track testing on a 10-corner, 1-kilometre length setup, the i30 SR was 3.5 seconds quicker than the 1.8-litre Hyundai i30 Elite it's based on. That's because it has 20% more power and 19% more torque than the 1.8. Over a 6-month period, they set about testing 43 separate suspension combinations, 14 different front dampers, 23 rear damper builds on a variety of urban, highway, dirt roads and racetracks. This resulted in the Hyundai team delivering a car that is stiffer, better balanced and more rewarding than any other Hyundai we've ever driven. Around town at low speeds, you'll notice it is a little bit stiffer, but it's also a lot more fun. This all confirms that Hyundai has just added another superstar to its lineup with the introduction of the SR to their top-selling i30 range. With its 2-litre engine, this car offers more grunt than your stock standard hatchback and is a genuine world leader in its class. The SR shows that Hyundai is serious about the Australian market and, more importantly, about tuning their cars for Australian conditions and Australian drivers. Now, if the hatchback is your form of transport, this is a great car at a great price. Check it out at johnhughes.com.au or follow our links from Zoom TV.
Now, if you come to Maryborough, make sure you go on one of the Mary Poppin tours because this is where it all started and she's still here. After the break, I'm back with Russell Bates, the owner and director of the Fraser Coast Motor Centre. That's after the break on Zoom TV. While you're on the break, I'm going to get a spoonful of sugar. What do you reckon, Mary?
I think it'll be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Well done. Welcome to Maryborough, a small country town located in the heart of the Fraser Coast, North Queensland. There is so much history here. There's buildings 100 years old. There's people, I'm sure, that are 100 years old. But it's famous for two reasons. Firstly, we used to receive immigrants from all around the world here. Secondly, Mary Poppins was written right here in Fraser Coast. The author was born here, which is fantastic. But we're here, thanks to Asander, to meet the longest serving Ford franchise in Australia. So come on, let's go check him out. Russell.
Good morning.
How are you? Aaron Pitt, Zoom TV. Thanks for having us up here.
No, thank you for coming.
I would have been here earlier, but I got held up at your markets on a Thursday morning. You've got markets.
Yeah, look, markets are really well supported by the locals every Thursday.
Now, I want to find out more about your dealership. You're the leader here.
Yes.
I've got some questions for you.
Okay, let's go before the cannons go off.
The cannons?
The cannons go off, yes.
Oh, cannons. You have a cannon in your town.
Yep, but you're fortunate, mate, they don't actually shoot, so you're okay there.
Well, luckily.
Please take a seat.
Thank you. Now, Russell, you head up the dealership here. Now, you've had it for a relatively short time, but there's a bit of a history there, I'm told, as well.
It's actually a real historical story, really. Like 1898 was when the dealership was first built. It was the longest serving, surviving Ford dealership in Australia. We've now been selling and servicing for 114 years.
Wow. So when you bought into the dealership, I mean, how did you find the transition of taking over a dealership and adding your values and your qualities to it?
We came here in about 12 years ago now, and we evolved into taking on the Ford franchise, obviously, and then with Hyundai. And we've got other great brands like Volkswagen and Suzuki as well. At the same time, my family decided we would all invest in the business by physically being here. So now it's my wife and my two sons both work in the business now.
Now, going back to the town, there's a lot of history in the town, but there's a great feeling of camaraderie. There's a great feeling of town. Yeah,
well, Maryborough is built on a lot of family and stable history, being one of the first ports ever in Queensland and receiving people and goods. So it's Customs House, and I think that history has evolved, and Maryborough has continued to be the same way all that time. It helps with the market day and people who don't know the area, tourist destination. I think that's great. With the Mary Poppins history, also brings people into town.
Well, actually, didn't believe that Mary Poppins author started here.
Yeah.
I've seen the statue, so, well, if you've got a statue, it happened.
Yes, that's true, it's true, and it's quite a good-sized statue.
Now, you've got other dealerships out of here as well.
Yeah, well, see, our business is the Fraser Coast. With the Fraser Coast, it's Maryborough and Hervey Bay, and we look after both those cities. And we've got Volkswagen and Suzuki predominantly in Hervey Bay, and here we've got Ford and Hyundai.
Now, Russell, you mentioned you had your family working here,
Yep.
2 sons and a wife.
Yes.
I would like to go deeper into the company and meet one of them. You choose.
I think you should meet Jeremy. He's the one that's going to pick up the baton for the next part of the business, the next generation. I think that's probably the way to go.
So you're going to handball me to Jeremy. Let's go.
Okay. Jeremy, nice to meet Aaron.
Aaron Pitt, Zoom TV. How are you,
to meet
mate?
you, Aaron.
Now, I want to ask you some questions if you've got some time.
Sure.
Someone's got to run the business. I've got to go. See you later.
Perfect timing. Now, Jeremy, how did you get involved in the company?
Pretty much the first school holidays. There's your show me son, come to work. So that's what I remember, and it sort of has, carried on from there.
It's very, very welcoming, this town, isn't it?
Oh, very much so. It's a regional town with a big heart. It's got a lot of history, as you've seen already this morning, Aaron. We pride ourselves here in Maryborough, and so much so we're investing a couple of $1 million in Hervey Bay to give back to the community.
Now, I want to know what you've got back in the town. So you obviously have Hyundai, you have Ford.
Yep. Suzuki as well, and a new addition, Volkswagen. And basically we're looking to develop that brand as it's a new brand, and hence the new facilities. We can't contain what we've got now, we're growing too quick.
Your service department looks great, but I'm guessing that's going to grow as well.
Oh, definitely. We've made provisions for the long term, a 10-year plan to work out where our workshop's going to be, where our customers are going to be. And we're going to make sure we look after our customers with the servicing, because a lot of people think they know what they can do with the servicing, and we try to help them recognise the technology in these cars these days. And we don't just just look after the servicing of the car. We've got a whole after sales department which is based on vehicle care. So we look after the product with rust prevention and window tint, and basically look after the customer, the vehicle and the longevity of their asset.
Jeremy, thank you very much for getting us all the way here to the Fraser Coast. I love the history that's here. I've got to go catch up with Mary Poppins, but before I do, you did mention you're opening up a new yard next year. You just mentioned it.
New state-of-the-art dealership.
Be good to see.
In Harvey Bay, middle next year. You guys should really come back.
I think we will. It's a deal. Thank you very much. To join the Fraser Coast Motors family, go to fcmc.com.au or follow the links from Zoom TV.
Think of a car that's fun to drive and it's pretty cool to look at. It's a clever car and it's one that you're most likely going to buy brand new. Reason being? Well, it's affordable. So quite simply, you can.
I'm talking about the Toyota Yaris YRX. They come in many shapes and sizes, but this is the 4-door hatch variety. And I've borrowed it from the wonderful team at City Toyota right here in Perth.
Now, I should point out, this isn't a car you're going to see leading the pack out at Wanneroo Raceway. It is, however, economical. Incredibly so, it turns out, which is exactly what the creators had in mind when they designed it.
Under the bonnet is a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine with the perfect amount of poke to zip you around the city and lead you out the highway in comfort.
On average, the vehicle uses very little fuel. In fact, just 6.3 litres per 100 kilometres. Now, the drive comes from the front wheels, which will make doing donuts a bit of a problem. And in this model, there's a 4-speed auto or the 5-speed manual transmission.
But back to those looks. Now, for a guy who's much more at home in a big, robust Land Cruiser, I've got to say, I actually like this neat little package. But then why wouldn't I with its sports front grille and headlights, alloy wheels and matching body colour bumpers? Could it be possible that this car might turn heads?
Now, Wayne, this is quite an incredible car. It's amazing that they've crammed so much into this new model but kept it quite affordable as well. What's the price on this guy?
There are a few models in the range, Dan, and you're looking at $15,990 drive away for the starting model through to $21,390 as a recommended retail for this car that you've been reviewing. And don't forget, you've got the government and statutory charges as well on top of that.
Oh, that's brilliant too. And it actually seems, having had a drive, it actually seems like it's a bigger car inside. Is that true?
Yeah, and the way they work actually is a small car but with a really wide platform, and to do that they push the wheels to the corners, and that actually gives a better footprint on the road, to give you a feel that you're driving a big car even though you're in a small car, and a lot of great stability.
Oh, it's a really wonderful piece of technology. It's a very safe car too, it turns out, isn't it?
It has a 5-star safety rating, which includes that vehicle stability control as well.
And it's a good looking car too. I mean, it's the sort of thing that stands out on the road.
That's right, and actually when you get in the car, it's actually got really high pivot points, so you can actually get in and out of that car really easily. So even from a younger buyer to an older buyer, it's actually very good to get in and out of that car without dipping down into a small car.
Something you probably wouldn't notice, but it's a great convenience.
Well, that's right, yeah, very good.
And to continue that theme, let me point out a couple of sporty additions on the inside too.
First up, the wheel. It's D-shaped, it's moulded, and it's home to a set of audio controls. Sporty. You may not realise, but right now I'm also very snug. Can you guess why? Bucket seats. That's sporty too.
The Yaris YRX is also full of technology. There's things like keyless entry, Bluetooth, USB and SD card connections, and of course there's cruise control. Another feature here is the traffic avoidance system, which provides up-to-the-minute info on the road conditions ahead. If there's an accident, two things happen. You get warning to detour, and the chance for a cheeky wave at everyone still travelling straight ahead.
Now, safety features heavily in this car too. Things like the high-strength, impact-absorbing structure, which Toyota have called the safety cell. There's 7 airbags, and the seats have been specially designed with whiplash-reducing technology. They're not there by accident. They're there for one.
To sum up, this little beauty is here to put the fun back into practical. It's a fuel-efficient, sporty car that suits both the family and a fast-paced urban lifestyle. Best place to find one is in the showroom of City Toyota, or you can follow the links from Zoom TV.
In this day and age, one thing that is very clear is our individuality. We all have different wants and different needs. And these days, it's just so easy to personalise the things that we buy. However, personalising a car, well, that seems like a very daunting process. Actually, thanks to City Toyota, it doesn't have to be. Today we're going to look at their pre-sale delivery process, which looks at the part between the sale and the delivery of your new or pre-owned vehicle. So come on. City Toyota are committed to not only selling you the car you want, but ensuring that the car you buy is accessorised with everything you need. After all, it's your car. And they do this at their dedicated pre-delivery department, which specialises in preparing your vehicle so it's delivered to you with all the accessories and add-ons you require. Pre-delivery is the process where your new car is fitted with your desired accessories before you take delivery. The best thing about doing this before you take delivery of your new car is genuine parts, which means a better match and fit with your car. Peter, what is the benefit of using genuine Toyota parts and accessories?
Toyota parts and accessories are engineered by Toyota for Toyota, manufactured to their exacting standards. They maintain the quality, durability and reliability of your Toyota.
City Toyota's pre-delivery department can professionally install high-quality window tinting and offer a range of state-of-the-art aftercare products, including rust, fabric and leather protection, which importantly are all fully backed with an exclusive guarantee. They also stock and fit a wide range of genuine Toyota accessories including tow bars, bull bars and roof racks. And in most cases, if they don't have the genuine accessory you need, no problem, because Toyota WA have an even bigger warehouse full of genuine spare parts and accessories right here in WA. The Toyota WA warehouse is so big that they should have the exact part you need on site, which means you'll never have to wait for that part to be shipped in again. And in most cases, they can deliver the part you need to City Toyota that day. Carrie, this is a huge warehouse. It's actually quite intimidating. How many parts and accessories are here?
We stock about 35,000 different lines, covering off about 200,000 different pieces in this facility.
Wow, how do you keep everything organised?
We've got a great computer system. We've got great people that look after everything, that make sure that we get the parts out as quick as our dealerships need them to service their customers. So 4 times a day we service our network here.
Having access to a substantial amount of parts and accessories combined with the facility and technicians to professionally fit them allows City Toyota to offer you a very efficient and unique personal buying experience. When you buy your new car, it should be an enjoyable process and it should be a personal process, which is the case with the City Toyota pre-delivery service. And when you think about it, the way you're treated during the sale really does make all the difference. To find out more, drop into the award-winning City Toyota dealerships or go to zoomtv.com.au. Welcome back to Zoom TV. Now, normally at this stage we'd have our Celebrity Hitchhiker, but I've got my Celebrity Walker. It's actually the Town Crier here at Maryborough. How are you, Steve?
Well, thanks.
Now, Steve, before we get into this gun, I want to know a little bit more about the town itself, so fill me in.
Well, Maryborough was settled here in this area in 1857, after they came up the Wide Bay River, and yeah, they settled further down, but that was in 1847, but moved up here because that area was prone to flooding. Mm-hmm. So the basic, as the city as you see it now, down to Wharf Street, is 1857 and up to today.
And I believe you. Normally a guy dressed up in dress-up, I wouldn't believe at all. I'd think he's kind of nuts. But everyone walking around the town is in dress-up, including myself. But all of your buildings are old and aged, but you've all restored them and made them look very beautiful.
We have kept our facades, and that's the main part of the city. All our visitors, they love our facades. As you can see by the School of Arts from the other side of the road here, to the buildings on this side of the road, and then the front of our City Hall here, which is absolutely magnificent.
Do you find, I suppose the objective is to make the town as beautiful as you can and as comfortable to live in as you can, but do you find by putting that effort in, you're inspiring people to be proud of the town?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. it sort of bonds the town together once they realise that it's a heritage area. And that's what really brings the people in. So we have people from all over the world come in, and their cities are rebuilt, but ours is original. And it goes right back to the foundation of the country, which is great.
Which is beautiful. Now, I've got to ask you, the Sander Fast 5, are you ready for the questions? First car you ever owned?
The Volkswagen.
Volkswagen?
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
Yeah,
Volkswagen. Volkswagen. What was it, Steve?
Combi.
Well, there you go. Every town...
Every hippie has a combi.
Every crier has a combi. That's where you learnt to cry, I bet.
No, actually, no, I didn't.
Okay. What is your opinion of the best car ever made?
Combi, Volkswagen.
Combi, Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
What's your opinion of the worst car ever made?
Rubbish.
Volkswagen.
No.
You're doing really well. You got 3 for 3 so far. What car do you currently drive, if you do drive, sir? I'm just guessing you're allowed to have a licence.
Listen, X-Trail. A magnificent vehicle.
Kind of car you want to drive in, there you
If
go.
you're towing a caravan, that is.
Okay. And other than pirates, what is your greatest fear?
I don't have a fear. Oh, yes, I do. Spiders.
As you would. There you go. Steve, thank you very much. You've been our Celebrity Hitchhiker. And we're done. If you'd like to know anything more from any of the stories from today's show, go to zoomtv.com.au, or even better, grab our free iPhone app, made free thanks to Sander. Now, we'll be back next week. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. But remember, whatever you do that zooms, make sure you do it safe. And that's a wrap.